And I'm going to show you this. This is your first coaching session. This is what you do in your first coaching session. And we've given you, you don't have to follow it perfectly, but we've given you what you do in that first coaching session to net it down to clearly defined goals. So, if all you have is a Profile XT, you can use this. If all you have is a 360, you can use this. If all you have is a Myers-Briggs, you can use this. Whatever you have, we're going to assume in this first session you have all the data you need. Okay, whatever it is, if it's none or if it's a lot. You're still, no matter how much data you have, you're going to still follow this process. So what you do, and by the way, there's page 66 and 67. 66 is if you're the manager as coach. And page 67 is if you're coaching people who don't report to you. Does that make sense? So two different worksheets. So you guys are actually going to use, you'll use the second one. So actually let's cover the second one. You're going to use the second one, 67. So you're going to go through, when you guys get in your coaching sessions right now, you're going to ask, so what are your job responsibilities? Okay, this first box is to develop rapport. It's to understand, get to know what their job involves, what their responsibilities are, how many direct reports they have, if they have any, what kind of previous training and development they've done in their past, and how long they've been with the company and how long they've been in their current job. Now, why, as the coach, would you want to know any of this?
Well, if you're going off of 360, you need to know, what they've done there. What's the perception? How are you showing up?
Yeah. And you want to know, is this a first-time managerial role or not? Do you manage managers or do you manage individual contributors? I mean, there's a lot, right? Because you do manage managers differently than you manage individual contributors. It's a little bit of a different dynamic, right? So you want to get a context for the person. You want to know how they fit in a box, right? And what you need, you want to know what responsibilities they have. And there's also some power in how they answer the responsibilities question. So if they say, well, my responsibilities really are, gosh, I'm trying to think of, I'm looking for, do they talk it generally or are they getting into the specific responsibilities? I kind of like to look for that. I like to look for, what their responsibilities are so that I make sure that we're tying goals to responsibilities, right? So you find out, and by the way, I'll spend usually, if I know I have a 1-hour coaching session, which we're not going to have each of you do an hour, we're only going to have each of you do a half an hour. So you'll move through it a little bit quicker. But I'm usually, if I have an hour, I'm usually spending about 10 minutes in this first box. I'm just giving you some guidelines that I use. It doesn't mean that's what you have to do. Strengths. So I will then move from the job position, what they do, to first starting off with strengths. Now, why do I want to find out their strengths before their weaknesses?